Welcome to SIssues. We are two sisters with issues and a need to work them out, and we're inviting you along for the ride.
Here we are taking the big things we have in common. Our love for Outlander, inappropriate humor, and why people do the things they do. Mix this up with our dirty lady mo's, and this podcast is born.
But don't worry, we'll explore other issues too.
Because you know,
when you have sisters, you have issues.
If you are easily offended or don't appreciate the creative use of colorful Canadian cursive language, this is not the podcast for you.
SIssues, featured and brought to you by Cher and Phil. Good evening, Cher.
Good evening, Phil.
And how was your day?
It was quite lovely and quite rainy outside, made for a dismal, dreary day.
Yes, well, I too received some precipitation, which was quite torturous on the soul, but hence the sun is trying to make an appearance.
There will be no sun in Alberta today. It is dark, it is cold, and the precipitation is becoming snow.
Well, I did not ask you to say the S word, and that is not in my forecast this evening.
Well, aren't you fucking lucky?
Yeah, I don't know why I started out like that. Just something different.
Now she's gone right back up to her usual pitch.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, guys, we are back for our Outlander rewatch, Season 4, Episode 10, The Deep Heart's Core.
Oh, that was it. It was the deep heart.
Oh, see, there was a reason behind our madness.
Right? See,
it
always comes from somewhere.
We just didn't know it at the time. That's
Uh-huh.
all. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just wrapping my Jamie blanket around my breasts.
I thought you were wearing a skirt and you just lifted it up.
Yeah, nope. Nope, there was no cooch under there. It's just a Jamie blanket. That's
Okay.
all.
I got you that blanket.
Yeah, you did. And it hasn't left my office chair. It's like right here all the time. Not unless, of course, I'm outside. Then we go outside together.
Oh, well, that's sweet.
Yeah,
that's
it's a perfect deck blanket as well. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Nice.
So, guys, if you're watching on Netflix, make sure you skip the introduction, go directly to the song. And Miss Cher, will you take us away?
I will take you away.
Does that mean vacation?
Oh, man. I want to.
I think everybody just wants a vacation.
They would be, it was really funny because I posted a meme a little while ago that said, I 100% support forced vacations and everybody should have to have them. And
I agree, though.
yes, but the thing is, people see and read what they want to see and read.
Uh-huh.
So I had this woman, Sheila, come all up in my DMs, freaking out.
Why?
about me saying people should be forced to be vaccinated.
Oh, my God.
Because she read vaccination instead of vacation.
Oh, my
She's not
God.
the only one, because on that meme there was a thread of people arguing about the vaccination, being forced to take a vaccination, and I was like, read the meme and
Stay focused, people.
They still are like, oh, I didn't say, and then they still started fighting. But I'm like, read the motherfucking meme. It's vacation, and if it doesn't show that you need a bloody vacation because you read the meme completely wrong, I don't know what does. So yes, I support 100% support forced vacations.
Yeah, I'm going to have to back you up 100% on that, sister.
Everybody needs one, especially Sheila.
I'm glad you still have Sheila's best interest at heart.
I do, but she blocked me, so it's all right. So we are going to count you buggers down. And when I get to 1, you are going to press play. Okay? 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
And there we are singing a song of the last that is gone.
And she's still got dirty calves.
I was
That
just
girl
going to
needs
say
a
that.
bath.
Now, see,
Yeah, well, I was going to.
I wonder what ones that they are going to keep for season 6. I always wonder if they're going to, which ones are going to change and which ones are going to.
Right.
So
That'll be really interesting to see what the intro is going to be looking like, because you've read the book already that far. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
So I can't even guess as to what they're going to look like, because I'm going to be like, oh, what's that scene from? Oh, I wonder that looks exciting. You know what I mean?
Yep, for sure. And you do it every season, right? You do it like, because we've seen this one in the last, it was the hand fasting. And then there was some, there's Roger,
Yeah.
And people were like, well, who's this? That's Brianna wearing the pearls around her wrist. And people were really taking that image that we just saw a couple clips ago with the horses, the First Nations.
Yeah.
But it was hard to see that they had somebody that they were dragging along with them. Well, that was Roger.
Yeah, exactly. There's a still.
It is a still. It's making really bad whiskey.
Yeah, well, because it's not aged. That's why it tastes so terrible, right?
Right, because it's just not aged. It's just still for now.
Yeah, it's just still. That's all.
It's not settled.
I love that jacket on him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, goes like almost right down to his knees.
Yeah. Knees, bees knees.
Yeah, bee's knees. Oh, and on the outtake for this shot, it had the goat banging his head on the inside of the gate. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, it's that whole working with animals and working with kids thing. You can't really, and a goat. I mean, come on. Goats aren't exactly the easiest animal to deal with.
No, because they have a mind of their own, just like a cat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now he's letting her know that he knows about the rape.
Yeah. And also the baby, and he's just asking her to, go check the traps with him. So
yeah,
that's good.
And it's the scene in the book that they're portraying was way more violent between the two of them.
Yes.
I like the way they softened it up a little bit. A lot of people still didn't quite like the way it was, but the way it was in the book, way worse.
Well, and I think in hindsight, I think it's better to downplay it like they have here, considering what she just went through.
Right.
Exactly. So she's still suffering that trauma. I think Jamie does a really great job of getting his point across without creating more trauma for her.
Right. Without re-triggering her to such a degree that, that he doesn't, that he doesn't re-traumatize her.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the thing. She knows about, she knows about Jack Randall, right? Yeah. And that's the thing. When you know you're a smart person, she knows she's a smart girl. She knows that, what she did wasn't the smartest thing, but at the same time, she is not to blame in any way, shape, or form. So it's really hard to take that logic and apply it. So that's
you got to remember, she was thinking 20th century brain, not 17th century brain when she walked in that room, right? She thought she was making a deal to get it back. Why on earth would she ever think the worst would happen, right? So
yeah, and that's why Jamie's about to do what he's about to do.
Yeah. And, I just the look on her face, the more and more it gets hate on it, and she looks perplexed, like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is he saying to me? Right?
Yeah.
Look at the anger in her face.
And that's what and he knows what he's doing. Like, he's trying to build that rage in her. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
fight as hard as you can.
Yeah. And he does a really good job here.
Yeah.
You know, look at his face, though. You know, he's like, I don't want to do this, but I know that
This is
she'll understand. Right.
And this is the only way that she's going to realize, no matter how hard she fought, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Exactly.
The same thing would have happened.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the reason why I think the book was so much different and they couldn't have played it the same way is because of the size difference. Like, Brianna in the book, just as big as Jamie, right? And,
exactly.
And, you know, they threw punches like they were, like it was, you know, and he was meaner, like, and cruel even. And with Sophie playing Brianna, she's smaller and softer than, you know, book Brianna. So,
right. So it makes sense to me why they did it this way. It makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
So, you know, and Brianna would have been stuck in that train of thought forever had Jamie not done this.
Well, it was kind of like, you know, 17th or 18th century therapy, really. And because he'd been through what he had been through, he was able to tap into that. And I think Brianna, in her own way, was poking that bear. To say, you know, well, you go back to when you went through this rape and tell me how I can get over it.
And almost maybe even to see his reaction, you know, is he over it? Does he still carry it with him? And that's why she looked at him when, you know, when she asked him, right? I want to see his response. I want to hear his response, right? And you can see in Jamie's face, it, you know, bothers him, but it doesn't all consume him. Right. You know what I mean? So, but I'm glad that they've taken, you know, a few walks together. You got to remember their relationship is still brand new, right? So.
Well, and Jamie's also facing, and he might be facing it for the first time, whether it has been, you know, has affected him and he is over it. Like, he's not sure. And I think that's like Brianna's experience is helping him, you know, finally putting a little bit more, you know, years away on his experience with Jack.
Yeah, exactly. So they can really kind of share this moment, right? Because they've both had that experience.
And the truth is, this is not something you ever get over. Your life moves in another direction. You can, you know, like, but I think those little bursts will always happen. Those, you know,
you'll have those flashbacks, you know, something will trigger, you know, your memory or an action or whatever, right?
But I think Jamie gave her some really good advice.
Yeah, I agree. Who are these guys? A mohawk.
Oh,
and there's Roger.
Tied
now
up.
You can tell by his beard growth. You can tell by their beard growth how long they've been walking now.
So Roger's only been walking for 12 minutes.
Oh my God.
Richard Rankin grows a beard by like blinking.
Of course he does. But look at his face.
Poor son of a bitch that came with him. Yeah, Roger got the absolute shit kicked out of him. Like, just absolutely pummeled.
And I'm sorry, why isn't the Mohawk a little bit more selective with the people that they want to bring and add to the tribe when this guy can hardly walk? He's just getting going, for goodness sake.
Well, they might have had him a lot longer than they had Roger, though.
True that. True
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
They might have picked him up in,
Florida.
Yeah, in Florida. Mm-hmm.
I wonder how, that'd be curious. I'd like to see how, kind of the territory that the Mohawk, kind of covered. I know they were from upstate New York, but I wonder how far south they traveled. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, they're probably covered a lot of territory.
If you know, just leave it in our comments, and I would be appreciative.
We could just Google it.
Okay, well, whatever. I'm not Googling it right now. We're trying to do a podcast. Pretty horses.
And then Schmoopy and Doopy.
Yeah.
Out in the middle. Oh, God.
Poor guys. Can you imagine walking to New York?
I can't imagine. I'd never go to New York. No thanks. I'll pass. Wouldn't go
Too
then.
funny.
Won't go now. No. And
these guys.
Time.
Do you want to talk about these guys a little bit?
Hey, there's Gregory. Gregory is Albertan.
Oh, is he?
Or is he from Ontario? Oh, he might be from Ontario, Gregory.
Oh,
But
okay.
we had some really great video from my interview with Carmen Moore,
Yeah.
who is in later episodes, and he really did tell them stories around the fires and stuff like that when they were shooting scenes, and they had a lot of fun with him. He is a great personality. And one of the videos, and I believe it is in my interview with Carmen. So if you just go to a Bootlanders, Carmen Moore, search that on Google, it'll take you directly to the interview, and you'll get a sneak peek at a video of Gregory doing a behind the scenes video with Richard Rankin, and they're throwing the rocks and stuff that are in the Indian village, and smashing each other over the heads with them, and stuff like that. It's hilarious. They're really funny, and so
That's
go and
pretty
check
cool.
it out. Yeah, but he is a hoot. He is hilarious, and you can see him in a lot of Canadian stuff.
Oh, very cool. And I love how Roger is making the days in a knot on a string, and these guys end up laughing. The guy says, you're going to need a longer string, they got to find something to laugh at. That's sad.
Well,
sad.
Yeah.
That's why he cries at the end.
Like, what are you talking about?
It's funny,
Thanks,
but it's
bro.
really bad.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, of course, Claire is talking to Bree about possible options.
Mhm.
And, it's important that they have this conversation because the expectation is Bree is going back.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
It's not really been said, but it's kind of assumed that Bree is going back. So,
Right.
A decision is going to have to be made. Is your ass snapping?
I'm sorry. I'm playing with something. I'm playing with
Oh, okay.
I'm
I'm
playing with my chapstick. Sorry.
See, I'm playing with my frog who
I
has
know you always do.
tadpoles coming out of his butt. But-
Yeah, and you can hear that really grossly in the microphone when you did
Oh,
that.
can you? I'm going to do it
Yeah.
one more time.
Okay,
That sounds like a wet vagina.
That sounds pretty fappy.
Okay, I'll just keep it under the table here.
Yeah.
I need to get more silly putty.
I need to stop snapping this, obviously.
I just wondered what's snapping in my ears. What is that? Is that outside?
And see, the conversation that they're having is, like, it's, what would you do? Well, we know what she did. She went back through the stones.
Exactly. Pregnant.
But that
right?
was a totally different situation, right? So
Absolutely. And it was Jamie's idea. But remember, she made the promise to him way before that when the time comes.
And also, Brianna doesn't know whose child it is. And, and she's not in imminent danger. And
I feel so bad for her. Like
Right.
2 nights in a row,
Mm.
she was a virgin, and one wanted, one on, like that would just be physically.
the same night.
That's crazy. It
was
wasn't the
just-
same night in the books. I think it
No.
was like 2 weeks apart or something. But
Mhm.
I think it makes sense to do it this way, especially with Roger being involved with Bonnet, and then leaving the same day. That makes total sense. So,
Yeah. And, drama. It's a TV drama. And, people are always like, I can't believe they did that to the character. And I can't believe they did that to, it really sucks. And it really is horrible. And it, like it, and it's, gross, but at the same time, this is drama TV. And
oh yeah, exactly.
drama TV sucks and is gross a lot of the time for the sake of drama. And people are like, well, they shouldn't do it for drama, but that's what
drama series.
Yeah, that's what it is. And at the heart of everything, we kind of have to expect that to happen, and even when it bugs us the most.
And remember, never ever forget that Diana is a consultant on the show.
Yeah, but they don't have to. She can say whatever she wants. They don't have to listen to.
Oh, no, of course not. But at least they have the respect for her in the story to keep her involved. You know what I mean? Yeah. They could have, and I'm sure though she would have never agreed to it had she not had, that voice at least, right?
For sure.
So. She doesn't agree with everything, but she likes the show as well. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's no way that, and there's no way if they constantly fucked her over, there's no way she'd shut up about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
She's definitely not that kind of person.
Well, and she said, there's a few things that she 100% didn't agree with, but then there's also things where she stood up and said, this is really important. This is the reason why, and they fixed it. So, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
I like this. First cousins. He's smitten with you. Yeah. Yuck.
Yeah. It's and to even think about it though is like, yeah. No,
I hear you.
Brianna would hurt that poor boy.
Yes, she would.
Yeah.
Ian has come so far, when he has a bigger.
Well, in
his story expands.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, it's and even from season 5, even what we get to see him, if we get to see him, it's just.
Yeah.
And I love this too when they're watching Claire and talking about how this is her place. This is where she's content and happy and
Yeah. Well, and he felt bad that she lost her mom for him, and but she reassured him, hey, I just didn't come here for my mother, I came here to meet you as well. So and that put the little smirk on his face. And it's nice to see the whole family busy, working together.
Lizzie flirting with Ian.
Okay, does anybody else find those vegetables really like it's making me hungry? In the pig trough, they look like fresh veggies.
Okay, you can go right ahead and stick your head in the pig trough anytime you want. I like this. It shows that they're building a relationship with the neighbors in the community as well, because that's something that's really important to Ian.
Yes.
And which is good because, Yeah. This reminds me of Little House on the Prairie.
I know it. A lot about this show does remind me of that. So
a lot of it.
A lot of it.
What? A lot of it reminds you, but there's not much that would remind me of Little House on the Prairie about Outlander.
The log cabin, the family, the hardships. Of course. I'll send you some memes and you will see what I mean. through my means.
Okay.
Hamburgers.
Mm.
I would be doing that all day, every day.
Right.
You know what? If I had someone with me in a different century, oh my God. Remember Turbo? Remember down the street and go to Taco Bell?
I don't like any of those things.
Rock music.
Mm.
Music. Just music playing on a speaker in the backyard.
Yeah.
And she,
Mhm.
oh, I think that's smart. That's
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing she should learn how to make is aspirin.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a few things that she can use for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's, thank goodness she knew what she did about plants, even prior to that, right? Because she was just taking that up. That was just, kind of an
hobby.
interest for her. Yeah. So thank goodness she learned as much as she did before she went through the stones the first time, right?
Yeah.
I love Bree's skirt. There's just something about her skirt I just love.
Yeah.
And they should make all skirts with pockets.
Of course.
Yeah. I love that little homestead right there.
Mm-hmm. It's very cute.
It's so nice. Somebody's smiling in her seat. Is she awake? Yeah, she's. Oh, I don't like this one.
This is dreaming.
Yeah, exactly. Her skin looks like perfect there.
Her skin always looks perfect.
I know.
Mm.
Oh, Roger.
Yeah. Just a dream, though. Of course, I came back for you.
Yeah, he did. And then you were still sleeping.
Oh, no, he came back for you, but guess what?
Yeah.
Jamie put the boots to him.
Well, yeah.
Oh, look.
Yuck.
Oh, get your hand out of there.
touching.
Get your hand out of there. Get it out.
No,
Get it out.
don't touch. Don't touch.
Oh.
Don't touch. It must have been really hard for those two, eh? Because every time they interacted, it was physical.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Her, but even him to have to do that, you know? Oh, that must have been hard.
Yeah. He wasn't he wasn't too happy about having to, he much would have rathered if they knew that they weren't going to be showing the rape scene, never had to put Sophie through that.
But, later on they do show parts of it. You never know if they'll show more. So
they did a full day of filming.
Oh yeah, I know.
So
I know.
To show what they showed versus what she went through and what he went through, because you have to get into a pretty dark space to be able to
absolutely
to treat a woman like that. And he's not, after you spend,
he's not that
you spend a couple minutes with the guy and he's not even like that charming kind of person. He's like just a down to earth, sweet guy. Like, yeah.
Oh, this is a tough scene right here.
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is where
shit's gonna hit the fan now.
Lizzie got it wrong.
Yeah, and Lizzie is just so calm. I got your back, girl.
Yeah.
You got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can go to sleep. No more nightmares
about this because your dad took care of it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then she realizes in that moment, what do you mean? How do you know what he looks like, right?
Yeah. Yeah. How would you possibly know what he looks like?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I saw you with him.
Oh, yeah. Wrong guy.
No.
Wrong guy.
You saw me with Roger.
Oh my God.
And this is where
the fight in the woman comes out in this moment, right? Yeah.
This is where all the blocks fall into place for Brianna, and
Yikes.
Now, shit, this is where the real disturbance of a Bree comes
Exactly.
flying through the door.
Yeah,
You thought
exactly.
she was a disturbance before, folks? Get ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's like,
Uh-oh.
what? What? Roger. Yeah, and
Yikes.
mhm.
And it's so bad, we're doing a podcast and all I want to do is listen. Not like we've seen it 30 or 40 times already, right?
Yeah. So it's well, and
Yeah.
the thing is that he's still confused because he's like, Roger, what do you mean, Roger? Like, is he the one that raped you? Like,
Yeah.
he's still not cluing in.
No. And
Yeah.
Claire's like,
and Claire
what?
knows that it was Stephen Bonnet that raped her, but
Exactly.
she's not saying anything yet either. So there's so many moving pieces in this puzzle that nobody's stopping anybody from saying anything stupid. And me saying Claire's not stopping Jamie from saying anything stupid.
Well, and there's also lack of communication here on all sides, right? Jamie telling everybody, don't say anything.
Yep.
Lizzie, she did the best she could. She thought she was doing right. Claire not telling Jamie who actually raped her.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh my God, of course this is going to come to a head.
Yep.
These are the
Absolutely.
Frasers. Of course it's going to come to a head.
Yep. I know so many people freaked out that Brianna slapped Jamie. He just basically called her a whore.
Exactly.
She gets to slap him in the damn mouth.
You got that right. You got that right. And just look at the hate in her face.
Oh,
it's just hate. I don't know you well enough to trust you now.
Right.
You know what I mean? All of what they have built has just gone right out the damn window.
Yep. And people saying that Claire should have jumped in between Jamie and taken Jamie's side. Damn people, do you not have a child?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you not have a child? Because I can guarantee you, if it's my kid and my husband, my kid is getting my protection right away.
But I hope that Claire is feeling somewhat guilty right now, which I know she's not because she's Claire. She's just going to make her daughter's point, right?
But she's going, no, I'm going to show you how wrong you are, Jamie. Look at this.
But shame on Claire. She couldn't hold eye contact with Jamie because she knew that she did wrong by not telling him.
Yep. She should have told. And now now they both know.
Yeah.
See, so they both, like, everybody in this room, everyone, like, Brianna has a part in it. Lizzie has a part in it. Like, they all have a part in this craziness.
Yeah,
there is one person, and I love how this happens. I love, she punches him in the face.
She's just
I'm sorry, but
and Ian's like, what are you talking about? I was trying to protect him. What did you do that for?
I'm sorry.
I don't want to see Bree and Ian in a fight. I love this.
Yeah, and this was best.
And Sophie Skelton added that herself.
Yeah.
So, and that was awesome. I love how particular shows will let creativity come out in the actors themselves, right?
And it's the truth, though. Nobody else had more of a right to be angry than she did.
Exactly.
Even though every single person in that room gave a reason or had some blood on their hands for this. Because if all of them would have sat down when Brianna got there and had a little discussion about how they were going to try and find Roger to see if he was still there.
Yep.
And
but you know what, they're taking
that he passed, and just didn't assume that he took off on a ship.
Well, but remember, that's the last that Brianna heard. She heard from the guy at the bar saying, or the guy at the wharf saying he left on the Gloriana. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
But
she
he
thought he's
also
done.
knew that the guy said that he came back for you.
Yeah.
So she could have, there was no proof that he had taken off and gone back to the future.
Yeah. I just
So-
wish that once it came out where she actually told everybody, or where she told her mom, that they would have had a conversation. That's her family.
Mhm.
Why not? Right?
And just let everybody know that it was Stephen Bonnet who raped her.
Yes, exactly.
And just had that out so they could all go on a Stephen Bonnet hunt
Right.
to kill the guy. And
But I
then
guess-
Roger would have been free and clear. He could have come to the ridge, joined
But
the hunt.
I guess these relationships are just new with Bree, right? They're still feeling things out. They're
Yeah.
still getting to know each other. I'm glad they're finally out there now hashing out what to do,
Yeah.
right?
But she's still so mad at everybody.
and she has every right to be mad.
For sure.
And you know what? Everybody else needs to just suck it up and just deal with it. And when she says, okay, you're going to go find him. Yeah. You know what? Just pack up your stuff and go.
Yeah.
Just do it. It doesn't matter if it takes a year to do it.
Yeah.
You owe her that. So
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I sold him and all I got was this stinking necklace.
But at least he owned up to it. And he's right. You know what?
Yeah.
It will help them find him. So thank goodness at least that. At least he got a stinking pearl necklace for it.
Pearl necklace.
Well, it looks kind of pearly in the firelight.
Opally, maybe.
Yeah.
It looks more ivory-ish.
I know. I'm just.
I think it's wood.
That was punny.
It's
It was meant to
birch.
be punny.
I know, but it's lame.
Don't matter.
Uh-huh.
No, at least I think it was punny.
And see, that's one of the worst things about, about knowing when you're wrong about something and not being able to make it better or do something about it, or, it's just, God, it's so hard being in that position. Like, number one, absolutely, Jamie fucked that up. He was, it was, he never should have beaten Roger, and Ian should have never sold him off.
That's
it just
typical.
Should never have happened.
Typical that time period, right? Forget about the talking. We'll just beat the crap out of them and ask questions later.
Yeah, but it's just not like it was 100% to blame, and there's not much to be done about it. But the after effects and the heavy feeling of not being able to make it right or make it better or take the pain away from the people that you hurt is and it's just like us in everyday life, right? When we fuck up and we don't we don't know how to fix it, it can be debilitating.
And I think this is hard for Jamie as well. And the reason is conversations like this would include Jamie, right? And you see him in the background. What are they saying? What are they saying? Right? But she's having a private conversation with someone that actually means more to her than him.
Yeah.
So I know that's hard. And back to what you were saying about being wrong and all of that. I don't know if it's an age thing. Maybe we don't, but I know for me, I used to avoid mistakes like the plague, but now I'm the first one to come forward and say, you know what, I screwed up. You know what, there's something freeing. And I find you learn more life lessons if you just say, you know what, I made a mistake. I fucked up. That's it.
Sure. But now, see, I think it might just be because of the kind of brain I have or whatever. I can still own up to it, admit it, apologize for it, but I will still replay,
of course,
things in my head
for years to come.
Yeah.
Even when the kids were little, mistakes I made as a parent,
Yeah.
It creeps up and it eats away at me and creates anxiety.
Yep. Same.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah,
there it
this
looks like
is
Jamie's hanging. There's a rope hanging right there.
just
Yeah, if you like were to rewind,
that was a
which
visual that
I
you
know
yeah.
it just got me right
Icky.
now. Yeah, not good.
Mm.
But just the way he hung his head and he was just
Mhm.
standing there so straight. Yeah, don't rewind right now though, because we're in the middle of the podcast
Well,
here.
you can
It's
pause
just
us
not.
and you can go
It's
back
not
all you
gonna.
want.
It's
They
not
can
gonna
do.
make sense. It's
Well,
not gonna make sense.
might. They just pause us and go back and whatever. You can do that.
You see those thingies hanging down?
Mm-hmm.
That's what, or they're probably little trees.
Trees don't hang down. They actually.
It just looked
They're
like it
up.
was hanging.
Uh,
Oh, back to the Mohawk.
yeah. Other guy died. They left him there. He
Yeah.
becomes kind of like a breadcrumb.
Right? It's true. It's so true. Well, at least his face is starting to heal a little bit.
A little bit. Oh, got another knot.
Dude needs a shower.
Oh, this
Seriously.
guy, this actor, Braden Clark. I tell you, he legit must have ADHD. He is so he's got so much energy. We were able to meet him in at Outlandish Vancouver. Carriotone is his name that he plays here, but he lives in Vancouver, BC, and he is just the most delightful guy you could possibly meet. He kept on getting they kept on losing him because he was just
Hey, you know what? Some people know how to move a crowd, and he does.
He just
Right?
was just so bubbly. Him and John Bell together, they dance and they would just they were just everybody's entertainment. They were so fun together.
You know what I like about him as an actor is even though, they maintain a cold face, you know what I mean? Just a straight face.
Yeah.
You can read his expressions, which I really like.
His eyes.
And they're strong. Exactly. Exactly. You can read that man's eyes.
Yeah.
And I tell you, and it's like Katrina as well. I guess I compare him to her because they kind of have that same kind of talent. All they have to do is change their eyes slightly and you're like, whoa, got it.
Yep. I'll tell
now
you more
they're
stories when we get to more of his parts. I'll tell you more stories that he shared with us. But I like when you have to bring him back to me.
Yeah.
And there was a part in the books that it implied that Sophie wasn't only speaking of Roger there, that she was also speaking of her father.
There we go. Oh, did you see Claire's face?
Yeah.
She's like, what the fuck? Get up. I don't like that he called him a name though. Ian thinks he's doing something good and Jamie, degraded him. I didn't like that part, I can honestly say.
Yeah. Well, and in the book, it was Jamie made him do it.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't like that he degraded Ian.
Yeah.
Ian didn't deserve that.
No,
you know
he
what?
didn't.
Ian made a mistake and he's trying to make it better too.
Yeah, exactly.
So I didn't like that. Jamie, you screwed up again, man. Get your shit together.
Yeah. Get your poop in a group.
Mm-hmm.
But see, so like I said, was bring him back. You're the only one that can bring him back to me. Was a line that she had said, and that it was later implied that she was really talking about her father, and only being because she thought that he would never come back if he didn't bring Roger with him.
And I think that would be true. I think that would be true, but in the series, I think she definitely meant Roger.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, no
Jamie's
doubt.
not on her mind right now. All that he better get him
and
bring
it's true.
him back.
It wouldn't have come across. It would not have come across in any way genuine.
No.
If they would have made these two make up in any fashion.
Right.
Before then, because the way Brianna's character is, the way Jamie's character is,
Yeah.
these two, it wouldn't have been.
No,
It just wouldn't have worked.
no, not at all. Well, and now they're off to spend many a day trying to find Roger.
Uh-huh.
One interesting journey, though. Sorry.
Yeah, I do not feel bad for. I do feel bad. Sorry, I do
What? You don't feel bad for Roger?
for Richard Rankin being, because
Yeah.
it's not like they're given, like he's given, imaginary rope tied around his wrists.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
this is real rope tied around his wrists. When, it's not a stunt man. It's
No.
not, like a lot of this stuff, because it's done close up, is of Richard Rankin.
Yeah.
And they talked about this, Braden Clark talked about this scene in particular, where, felt really badly for Richard because of what they had to do to the guy. And, so it was, he's, a really good dude. So,
And even here, even him as a Mohawk, yes, they're doing whatever, but he offered him water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still think he's a good guy. Of course, he's following his heritage, all that stuff, but
Well, he's very prideful.
Yeah.
He said that was one thing that he, to get into character for this role, like he had to shave his head.
Yeah.
Like they said, what do you feel about shaving his head? And he just had spent many years growing his hair long again. He was like, I don't want to. But he did.
Yeah.
And so he said it took a lot of time just to kind of get into the mindset of this warrior. And this is one of the scenes that they were like, oh God, this really sucks, because they did have Richard hanging there by this rope, and they were pulling him up. And like, he was not happy with, and this was a scene that, Roger or Richard Rankin did mostly on his own. The big going down was a stuntman, but him hanging there by the rope by his wrist was, him trying to do it. Like they were like, we feel so bad for this guy. He's, this isn't any fun at all for him.
Well, and what I found funny is, he's been walking for days and days and days, and man, he must have drank some Powerade from that mountain, because man, he sure can run.
That's all it takes is just a little hydration, and
right.
Yeah,
so people drink your water.
It's your go-go juice.
It's your go-go juice. Go-go Raja, go-go Raja.
But yeah, so Braden Clark and Gregory had a great time with these scenes. They said, they got so immersed in the settings, and like it really, they really loved their time on Outlander because of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had so much fun.
That's so awesome.
He said he felt powerful in his costume as soon as he put it on, and he said he had this whole backstory of the person that he killed to get the coat.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I wonder, how much these actors really know about their heritage, because as we said in previous podcasts that, a lot of their history was whitewashed, right? What we learn in school is just like mice nuts compared to, what truly happened and how they lived, right? So I wonder how much they actually knew prior to coming.
Well, I don't think I don't believe that they're Mohawk. So
no, I mean about their own culture, about their own history.
I'm sure they know quite a bit.
Oh, poor Roger thinks he's safe. He's safe for now. let's just live in the moment. Let's give him a little bit of peace. And I love how Murtaugh is delivering her to Jocasta. Right now, he's in charge of protecting her, right?
Yeah, he's taken on that role.
And isn't it funny? They have those gates right there that lock.
He
like,
basically
you could
walks
just no, but I mean, like they could just walk around on the grass.
Yeah,
so.
no. I know when I was just noticing that when he's standing on one side of her, you basically can't see her at all.
Yeah. Because he's big and she's not.
Yeah.
And I love Ulysses so much. You know, who are you and what are you doing here?
What have you dragged in?
And let me decide whether or not you're going to see her. I love him. What a perfect character for this role. Such a presence about him, eh?
Very dignified. And his voice. He could read me the fucking telephone book and I'd listen.
And he should. He should narrate someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I agree.
He's very much a charitable guy, you know, like he has so many different things that he's very passionate about and helping people that need to be helped. And I love him as a person. He's just a great man.
Yeah. Colin McFarlane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, read it.
Read it.
No point to.
No.
And it's so funny, you know, he fell in love with her sister. Now he's after her and, you know, may as well keep it in the family. Yeah, exactly. Jeez. And I think Jocasta had a crush on him a long time ago, but of course he fancied Ellen.
I have a feeling that Jocasta fancied a lot of fellas.
Yeah, she's been married, you know, couple times already.
3, 4. Yeah,
and funny, all the husbands had died.
Ching, ping, chong. She get around, girl. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I like how you get a whole different side of Murtaugh.
Yes.
When he's dealing with her. And I think so many people didn't even realize that his whole face changes when he's dealing with her, when he's talking with her. And it's funny, even when they argue or whatever later on, there's nothing that is the same about him when he's with her.
Yeah, and I'm surprised how, you know, confidently she talked to her knowing that she has never met her before.
Brianna, I think, has talked to her mother about her.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, she seems kind of snooty, you know, very direct
so
and to
did,
the point.
Yes.
So did Claire. Yeah, I get
Claire
that.
was, and I think Claire gave her instruction. Don't you hold back. She will respect you more. And because she might have had, you know, like she respected Claire. So, and that's exactly I think she took exactly the right instructions.
I don't know that Jocasta respected Claire.
Oh, yeah.
I think because she made it very clear when she left, you know, that, you know, I don't believe in what you're doing is right, but he loves you, you know? So I think she respects Jamie's decision more than anything until she gets to know Claire a little bit better, of course.
I think she respected Claire's power as a woman.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's the case.
And I think that's what she gave to Brianna. Don't be a pushover. Don't let her walk over you, and stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, she's not going to respect you and she will push you around.
Yeah.
And here we hear the buzz, 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 buzz. And what does that mean? That means there's stones. Oh, Roger, what are you
pretty
gonna
cool
do?
that he just...
And these would be the stones that we saw the ancient natives in America dancing to at the beginning of the season.
Exactly.
where everybody was going, what the fuck?
And it's funny that
what
he
is
just
happening.
He just kind of stumbled across them, which, coincidental, and you could tell they've been there a long time. They're all covered in moss.
Yeah.
And he has the opportunity to go through right now. This minute, he has the stones. He can go.
He can do it.
But the fact that there were two in his...
You can go. You can go. Go be with Fiona. Go be with Fiona.
Just go back to teaching. Look at him. He's so tall. He could end his pain right now. And just go back.
Just go. Roger.
Man, he's
be with
such
Fiona.
a good actor, Rick Rankin.
He is. He's a fantastic.
I don't want him to be with Fiona. He would live a very humdrum life. No.
Very nice, quiet life.
No, he needs to be challenged, this guy.
Oh, he needs to have his face
drama
smashed in, needs to get hanged. He needs to fucking... Really?
Are you going to touch it?
Are
you going to touch it?
High five, bro.
Are you going to touch it? Touch it, Roger?
High five.
Touch
High
it?
five.
Huh?
High five. Touch the tip. Oh.
And then it's gone.
He didn't touch
tips. This is where he didn't touch tips.
He didn't touch tips.
Not that we've seen anyway.
They didn't show it.
Tips.
Bree sister.
And here we have a story about an amazing ball buster of a woman named May Edward Chin. And Phil, you're going to tell us all about her.
Yeah, it makes me feel completely inadequate.
Right?
I know. It's like I got to get my life straight and get it in gear here. So May...
It's kind of late for you, I'm afraid.
Shut up. It's never too late. Do not let my sister diminish your dreams. It doesn't matter how old you are. Just go out and do it. Anyway, okay. So May Edward Chin led an unusual life for a woman of her time and race. Her father was born a slave and escaped slavery when he was only 11 years old. May was a pioneer in many respects. So Chin was the first African-American woman to graduate from Bellevue Medical College at the age of 30, the first African-American woman intern at Harlem Hospital, the first female physician to ride with ambulance crews of Harlem Hospital for emergency calls, the first African-American woman and for several years the only woman to practice medicine in Harlem, and the first African-American woman to receive admitting privileges at Harlem Hospital. Despite the many restrictions placed on African-American doctors, Chin creatively conquered these obstacles in order to provide the quality of care that her patients deserved. She had an intense interest in the early detection, diagnosis, and treatment of cancer, which led to her rewarding 29-year staff position with the renowned Strang Clinic. She continued to practice in private, of course, in Harlem until she retired at the age of 81, and then she died 3 years later. Oh my God!
Can you imagine 81 and still practicing? Like, are you kidding me? This woman was phenomenal. You can go and check out her Wikipedia page and you'll be reading it and you'll just be like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Because like she grew up very poor. She didn't finish high school, but she took an entrance exam to get into Columbia's Teachers College. And of course she got in, and then like she was really musically engaged as well. And, she taught piano lessons.
Where does she get time to do that? Like, I was running out of breath because she has done so much.
And she was an active member of Delta Sigma Theta as well. Like, she's among the first group of women initiated to the Alpha Beta chapter of the sorority. Like, this woman is a pioneer for all women. And we find that Black women rarely get recognized,
Yep.
that they are usually at the forefront of all social change.
Oh yeah, 100%. And this particular May, she didn't like go off and retire and go on vacation. She devoted her whole entire life to service.
I
And-
want to see this fucking movie.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. This should be a movie. We need more Black history.
Uh-huh.
We need to hear it more. And it's sad that we have to scour the internet to
Mhm.
find it.
Yeah.
That we just can't ask a Black friend about it. It's just not common knowledge, right? We're sharing
exactly.
something that was buried in the internet.
Yeah. And these are the stories that we need to see. And, Black filmmakers are making more now, and I'm so glad to see them. But these are the movies. These are the Netflix shows or the Hulu shows or whatever that I would be glued to my TV. And I know that so many others would be too, because this is fucking interesting stuff. I mean, I was like scrolling through the Wikipedia, and then I went through other pages, and I'm just like, we had you read like a paragraph of this, and it was like 81 years of amazing history, and not just hers, like her father and her mother, and
I
like
know.
an 11-year-old escaping slavery.
Who does that?
What the hell?
I know.
How many stories are like this?
So sad that we're digging and digging for this information. We find a paragraph, and it's an amazing story that should be told. And why the hell hasn't it been told already?
Mm-hmm.
You know what, guys? So we want to hear those sister stories. We want to hear, what do you know that we don't know? Who's a resistor in your family who has a history? Who do you know that, overcame so many obstacles? We want you to share them with us. So go to SIssues.ca, or you can send us a private message on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and we will share it on the podcast. We'll even let you know what episode it will be on. And if you want to name anonymous, we will do that too, but we will give you a funky tag name.
Waka waka, like that.
Yep.